Very good morning. You're watching World Business Report. I'm Karthik Malhotra, and over the next 15 minutes, all the top stories from the world of business and economy from all across the world that are making news today. Stay tuned right here to News 9 Live. The top story we are tracking today: Google faces mounting criticism over AI mishaps despite attempts to recover from the fallout of Gemini's flawed AI image generation feature. Google struggles to regain trust. Gemini's AI image generation tool faced widespread ridicule for being too woke and for its historical inaccuracies, prompting the company to retract the feature. Sundar Pichai addressed the debacle, deeming it completely unacceptable. The criticism was so severe that Google's parent Alphabet's stock plummeted. As scrutiny and security intensifies, calls emerge for Sundar Pichai's resignation, catalyzed by broader apprehensions regarding Google's product development practices. And 3 American astronauts and a Russian cosmonaut are set to embark on a 6-month mission aboard the International Space Station after a delayed launch due to strong winds. SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket is scheduled to lift off from Florida's Kennedy Space Center at 10:53 p.m. today, with another opportunity for launch on Monday night if needed. The crew will travel in the Endeavour capsule, which has been previously launched 4 times by SpaceX. This mission, led by Matthew Dominic, includes first-time space travelers Jonathan Epps and Alexander Grebenkin among the veteran astronaut Michael Barrett. Moving on to China, in a bid to maintain its foothold in China's electric vehicle market, Tesla intensifies its price war with new incentives and discounts. Amid stiff competition from local rivals like BYD, Tesla offers perks worth up to $4,800 for buyers picking up new cars from stock by March end. This move follows earlier price slashes and sets the stage for a fierce contest in the rapidly evolving electric vehicle landscape. Take a look.
Tesla is stepping up a price war over electric cars in China. On Friday, the firm rolled out a range of new incentives for buyers. People picking up new cars from stock by the end of March can now get perks worth up to around $4,800. That includes discounts on insurance. The move comes after it slashed prices on some models in January and February. Tesla didn't respond to a request for comment on its latest moves, but they add to a fierce contest with local firms, including BYD, which has dethroned its US rival as the biggest maker of EVs. On Friday, it too offered new discounts, cutting the starting price of one model by over 15%. In February, it had responded to Tesla's moves with even bigger price cuts of its own. Tesla sparked the price war last year in a bid to grab market share amid signs of softening demand for EVs. It has since done discounts around the world, forcing other automakers to respond. Ford last month cut the price of its Mustang EV by up to $8,100.
Presidential contender Nikki Haley emerged victorious in the Republican primary in the District of Columbia, marking her first victory over former President Donald Trump in the 2024 campaign to become the Republican presidential candidate. Haley, the only remaining challenger to Trump in the race, won 62.9% of the vote versus 33.2% gained by the former president. Donald Trump, however, has a huge lead over Haley and is likely to face Joe Biden in the November election. Despite facing initial setbacks, Haley has affirmed her commitment to continue in the race, offering an alternative to Trump for voters in the subsequent contests. In a major rift between Meta and Australian government, the social media giant said that it would end payments to Australian news publishers for content shared on Facebook. In a statement, Meta claimed that it will not enter into new commercial deals for traditional news content and that they will not offer new Facebook products specifically for news publishers. Here's more.
Meta Platforms has said it will stop paying Australian news outlets for content that appears on Facebook. The decision pits it against the Australian government and a 2021 law that forced internet giants to strike licensing deals. The announcement has angered Canberra, and Australian Communications Minister Michelle Rowland on Friday slammed the Facebook parent firm's decision.
The announcement by Meta today is an abrogation of responsibility to Australia's news media sector. Australian journalists provide one of the most important public goods in our democracy, and Australian news media publishers deserve to be fairly compensated for the investments that they make in that.
News publishers and governments such as Australia maintain that Facebook unfairly benefits in terms of advertising revenue when links to news articles appear on its platform. Meta will now discontinue a tab on Facebook that promotes news in Australia and the US, it said in a statement, adding that it cancelled the news tab last year in the UK, France and Germany. The statement added, "We will not enter into new commercial deals for traditional news content in these countries and will not offer new Facebook products specifically for news publishers." Facebook's decision takes the debate between the government and major social media corporations back to square one. Communications expert Peter Lewis told Reuters.
They never conceded the value of the news, but they set up Facebook News almost as a fig leaf to say, we don't accept that there's an inherently more valuable quality of information and news content, but we'll give you money anyway because we're setting up this thing called Facebook News. Now they've taken down Facebook News and now they're going to say, I told you no one uses it. No one ever thought it would be.
While no deal values have been revealed, Australian news outlets say the annual value to the sector of Facebook's deals is 70 million Australian dollars, or about 45 million US dollars.
Moving to US markets now, US stocks wrapped up the week on a positive note, closing higher on Friday. The surge was mainly due to a rally in tech shares driven by artificial intelligence. AI chipmaker Nvidia gained 4% and closed above the $2 trillion market value for the first time last week. This report gives you all the latest updates on the US market trends and developments.
U.S. stocks rose Friday with the S&P 500 and NASDAQ notching closing highs as another AI-led rally of technology shares boosted markets, while a fall in Treasury yields provided further support. The Dow climbed 0.2%, the S&P 500 added 0.8%, and the NASDAQ jumped more than 1%. AI chipmaker Nvidia gained 4% and closed above $2 trillion in market value for the first time. Rival Advanced Micro Devices hit another record, as did the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index. Simplify Asset Management Chief Strategist Michael Green said some investors are ditching their broader market focus to plow more money into these hot names.
I'd suggest that we're seeing the market narrow as people increasingly focus on these AI-related stocks. We've actually seen that in a deterioration of flows into the market in terms of broad equity ETFs, so less buying of the Vanguard Total Market Index, for example, and more buying of, say, the technology sector or of individual companies like NVIDIA, AMD, et cetera. I just suggest that people are now basically trying to say, I get the joke, this is all about AI, and that in turn becomes self-reinforcing as people put more money to work in these names, drives their prices higher, drives even further sentiment shifts.
Other stocks on the move included Dell Technologies, which skyrocketed 32% after the personal computer maker forecast annual revenue and profit above Wall Street estimates and said it was benefiting from the AI boom. And shares of Spirit Aerosystems jumped 15% after Boeing offered to buy the airplane parts maker. Boeing slid 2%.
All right, and staying with stock markets, Japan's benchmark stock market index, Nikkei, has smashed the 40,000 mark for the first time, continuing its comeback after decades of stagnation. Tech shares including Tokyo Electron and Adventist were among the biggest gainers. Well, that's all we have on this segment of World Business Report, but news and updates continue right here on News 9 Live. So don't go anywhere. More after this short break.